Alright guys, this is No Dramas here. Now if you're wondering about the clips being played behind you, Hecarim clearing versus Kha'Zix clearing, that will all become clear later, because this video is going to be all about jungle clears in Season 7. Now the biggest and most immediate difference you'll notice playing in pre-Season 7 compared to Season 6 is that smite bonuses are no longer a thing. Secondly, the Gromp camp and the Krog camp don't spawn until 1 minute 50, so you simply cannot start at those camps anymore. You basically have to start at a buff camp now. Another new thing you've got to remember is that smite will heal you no matter what you smite now. So you should never ever smite early, and you don't really have to take that much priority into what you smite anymore. The smite can basically be saved for dragons, barons, and just healing on camps if you need to. It is worth mentioning that this is the preseason. It's a very volatile time, so this is obviously all subject to change. But as of 6.22, this is essentially factual information. Now there obviously have been big changes to the new jungle monsters. The Gromp now attacks more frequently, but it does less damage with each attack. But the biggest changes have ultimately come to the Raptor camp and to the Krug camp. As you can see displayed by the video, there are now many Raptors, which means AoE junglers have a really big advantage in their level 1 clear. Junglers like Kha'Zix, who have mostly single target damage, are going to take a lot of damage for the Raptor camp, and honestly might want to skip it if they have to skip any camp in the jungle. This brings me on to my next point, which is the massive importance of buying AoE items, specifically on AD junglers. Almost every single game you're going to want to rush Tiamat, just to make your clears doable essentially, and make them reasonable speed. Small camps now take 150 seconds to respawn, which massively increases the importance of counter jungling, and if you're crippled in your counter jungling simply because you can't take the camps effectively, that is going to instantly make you a weaker jungler in the current meta of jungling. Now as you can see from this comparison, Hecarim cleared the jungle faster, and AoE cleared the jungle faster than a heavily single target damage champion. Now what this means is that champions who do have that AoE damage in their kit are going to have more early presence and more potential for early ganking than those single target damage dealers who are going to really struggle in the current climate of the jungle. Now the clips I'm showing now are basically that same full clear after both these champions being leveled to 6 and after spending about 1500 gold on both these champions. On Hecarim I bought a Sheen and boots, and on Kha'Zix I've bought a Tiamat and boots. This is basically to highlight the massive importance of Tiamat in the current climate and what it can really do to affect your clear speeds, and why it is honestly such a necessity to buy. I can't stress that point enough. AoE items are super important in pre-season 7 jungling. Now I'll speed up these clips at this point just so you guys can see the result of this test. Now as you can see, after spending 1500 gold, Kha'Zix clears the jungle so much faster. This is basically because he has the AoE now, which means he can clear the Raptor camp and he can clear the Krug camp effectively, which before he really struggled with and took a lot of damage whilst doing. Well, that's all my main points covered, but obviously there is one more thing in the jungle that I have not mentioned yet, and that's the new jungle plans. So I'll give you a quick overview of what they do and how to use them effectively. So Riot have released these 3 new plants, which all give slightly different effects, and I'll talk about them now. So this first plant here is the Scryer's Bloom. It's very self-explanatory. You basically hit it and it gives you conal vision in a certain direction. The main use for this is going to be giving you safe vision of Baron and of Dragon, depending on where the plant spawns, which is usually near those pits. The second plant to look at is this one, called the Blast Cone, as you can see. If you auto attack it and you're within a little area, it will basically knock you to where the red indicator is showing. Lastly comes the Honey Fruit, which basically heals you and slows you. Now this is the most interesting one because obviously it does give you health back, but it's also a form of escaping. If you're a ranged champion, you walk past it, you knock it away, you can actually slow your enemies down. So that is, I guess, kind of interesting and a little bit silly. Well, that's all from me this video, guys. I really hope this helped you out. Drop a like to show your appreciation if you did enjoy the video, and hopefully I'll see you again for another video.